Hey guys, how is it going today? Welcome back to the 10 to 100 mil flipping series, coming at you with episode 8 today, working with 18.1 mil. That is exactly where we ended up last episode and where we will be starting this episode. Not too much to announce today, but if you do enjoy this video, drop a like and let's get into it. We're back home at the Grand Exchange, and we're going to start this episode with a flipping session, an active one, and we're just going to find what items are working out for us today and just going to see how much profit we can make. Starting off the episode with our tried and true adamant darts along with the amulets of fury. We're going to see if those work out for us, currently displaying about a 20k margin, and the adamant darts have a 3 GP margin and they bought up pretty quickly, so I'm hoping we can turn around and sell them pretty fast for a 3 GP profit each, going to make us about 33k in total if that is the case. I decided to go ahead and switch off of the Amulets of Fury because they were just not buying, but what I did notice is that the Infinity Boots currently have about a 20k margin on them, which is really good. I also noticed that earlier today they were at about 930k, and now they are selling for 991k, which is a little bit unbelievable, but it's also showing some upward price strength, and I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to flip a few for a good price. Hopefully the high volatility on these recently due to the Twitch Prime bots will help with this, and there is a lot of these traded per day, especially recently, and I'm hoping that's going to factor in to a successful flipping session with the Infinity Boots. We're also seeing a 9 GP margin on the Blood Runes, which seems a little bit unrealistic. I don't think we're going to get that, but I'm going to go ahead and list it anyway. We're going to do the Nature Runes as well, and I already checked the Death Runes. They really weren't a great margin. I think it was at 1 GP, but we're going to do the Nature Runes and the Law Runes as well, just to see how many good margins we can get on the runes, and just flip them to make a nice little profit, a nice safe profit on these. Here's what we have going for us right now. The Nature Runes are currently going for a 2 GP margin, while the Law Runes are actually showing a 4 GP margin, which is a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. Don't think that is going to hold. The Blood Runes are actually buying out, which is pretty crazy. We have half of the Adamant Darts sold, and our final flip here is the Amethyst Crystal, which are currently showing, I think it was a 12 GP margin on those. I think that's like, we have 13 GP, but we cut it down to 12 with the overcut. So everything is going well right now. We're just going to keep a close eye on everything and see if things stop moving, and if they do, we'll readjust the prices. We did sell a pair of the Infinity Boots already for 990, which means we did hit that margin that we wanted to hit originally. We also checked the Sears Ring, which is currently going for a 7k margin, which is not something I would typically flip. Usually when I'm flipping the Sears Ring, I'm looking for about like 9 to 10k on them at least. But since we did do a margin check on them, I thought we might as well try and flip them regardless. These Blood Runes have been sitting for about 5 minutes now, so I think I'm going to adjust the price here in a minute, but I'm going to let it sit just a little bit longer to see if I can hit that sweet 9 GP margin. Wow, guys, this is pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. This is by far the biggest margin I've got on Blood Runes ever in my entire flipping career, and that is a 9 GP margin on the Blood Runes. I will say we did not sell all of the, we did not buy all of the Blood Runes that I was hoping for, but we did get a fair bit of them. We were able to sell 4,122 for a 9 GP margin, which is crazy. We just got the other half, which we bought for an 8 GP margin, and we're going to turn around and sell these for 379, and actually hope we can get those off just like we did those other ones. I'll keep you guys updated on the total profit on the Blood Runes. And about right after I ended that last clip, the Blood Runes sold off for 379. We also knocked the Infinity Boots down 2k on the margin, and we were able to get those off no problem. I'm going to go back and try to flip a few more of the Infinity Boots, but wow, I am super impressed with how well those Blood Runes did, to be quite honest. I think, let's see, our total profit on those Blood Runes was 77k for 10, or not even 10k, 9,123 blood runes flipped for 77k. That is incredible. Let's go ahead, turn around, and sell the monkfish for a 2GP margin, which means they're going for 354, I believe. I think that's what we checked it for before. Anyway, again, I'll keep you guys in the loop, but so far, the session is going really, really well. And we got the Sears rings off. We did only flip 4 of them. I sold one right before this, but we did get our original margin on that, so that is really solid. And the Amethyst Crystal have sold off as well. We only were able to get 1,500 of them. Oh, and look at that. The Monkfish have sold too. So we're going to go ahead and collect both of those. It looks like we're at about 210k of profit during this session so far. If you have been watching this whole series, you might have kind of realized my strategy so far with an 18 mil cash stack and, starting from my 10 mil cash stack, that I'm pretty focused on flipping high volume items only with this amount of money. And the reason I like to do that is because while the margins are not as big as a higher margin item would have that is not traded as often, high volume items are very, very safe to flip, and the margins hold very steady over longer periods of time. This gives me confidence to buy items like sharks or green dragon leather, mithril bars, and know that when I go back to sell them, the margin is going to remain the same. Since I do not have that much money, I want to flip high volume items because it's a lot safer, and I don't want to lose any of my starting principal, because if I do, it's a large setback to my flipping gains. Personally, I don't like recommending moving on to medium margin or high margin items with anything less than around a 50 mil cash stack. I know a lot of people like to jump into those higher margin items and seek out that really good profit, but it's really just not worth it for the risk that you're taking with a smaller cash stack. And all of our dragon arrows and ancient staffs have sold. The dragon arrows made us a total of 63k, and those ancient staffs actually made us 38k. So that was 2 really solid flips that we were able to accomplish there. I'm going to go ahead and try to flip these ancient staffs again because the margin on them right now is insane. I don't know what's up with the margins today, but for all these lower end items, they're actually incredible. So I'm going to keep it up, and look at that. We also got the dragon javelins off as well, which were insane as well. 52k profit on the dragon javelins, and we only flipped 2k of them. I'm going to go ahead and flip those again. Wow, that is an insane margin. Mithril bars sold as well, 16k profit on those. Gonna go ahead and flip another quantity because they were just doing so well for us and did not take that long. I decided I wanted to flip a few blowpipes because I know they're a pretty stable, kind of medium volume item, and since we do have 18 mil, I think it's worth a shot considering I do have a good bit of flipping experience, but the margin on them right now is just really not that great. I was really hoping for a larger margin. It's about 7k right now, and it's not optimal. Hopefully, maybe the margin will stretch a little bit once we buy them, but we'll see. The sharks took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but they did end up selling, so we're going to go ahead and collect those. 2GP margin on the sharks made us 8k, nothing crazy. Also, it looks like these super combat potions just sold as well, which made us about 8k, I believe, since we only flipped 150 of them for, I think, an 80 GP margin or so. We have the brimstone boots going and the granite rings, actually. If you want to look at this here, really interesting margin on the granite rings. I've never really flipped this item before, but I saw it while I was searching for the brimstone ring to flip, and I thought, well, we might as well just give it a shot, and we'll just leave the listing in for as long as it's going to take, maybe even overnight, and see if we can have any real success with it. It is kind of a wild margin, so I really don't know what is going to happen. Anyway, the brimstone boots, they are flipping for a 60k margin right now, so I'm hoping that these will sell off for a little bit less than the original margin, but again, we just have to be a little bit patient, and in the meantime, of course, I'm going to deploy this 11 mil that we have in our inventory and find some more profitable and safe flips. We went ahead and flipped the black d'hide body just because I saw it and I didn't know what else to flip really. It made us 13k though, so I guess it wasn't too bad. Maybe we'll do the legs next and see which one actually makes us more profit. I hope this series is starting to show you guys that you really don't need a lot of money to start flipping. In fact, even smaller cash stacks can be effective when flipping items on the Grand Exchange, and I hope that's becoming more obvious to you guys. Anyway, we've got all of our items listed here. Let's sit back, kick back, and wait for these flips to come through. We were able to get our second pair of Dragon Bones off. We got 3,000 of those bought and sold again, so that was a pretty good margin on those. 5 GP is very solid for Dragon Bones in my opinion, and they traded pretty quick, so I can't really complain. Since it did go so fast, we might as well finish up the limit here. I'll go ahead and list 1,400 and see if we can get those buying and selling. And we got the black D-hide chaps sold. Let's take a look at the profit on those. Wow, 13.8k in profit instead of 13.7k in profit for the black D-hide bodies. It was a close match, but the black D-hide chaps did win, so congrats to them. They're not going to get anything special, but I'm so shocked that it was that close. The Dragon Bones has also bought and sold, so we hit limit on those as well. Pretty good profit on those considering how fast they went. 37k in total. We'll take that one to the stack. The Brimstone boots, they have sold. Really good profit on those. 92k in total, and we still can flip 4 more of them. So I think I'm going to try and flip another quantity, and I don't know if it's going to work, to be honest. But we're going to go ahead and list them and let them do their thing. Ancient staffs bought and sold again, adding to our profit on those. I think we're at a total of about 140k so far just on the ancient staffs. So really good margin right now on those. I don't know how long it's going to hold, but I will go ahead and try to flip a few more of them here before we do wrap up this session. Treasonous rings sold off. Well, at least 2 of them did. We're still trying to buy 5 more of them. That actually brought us to 700k in profit so far for this session, so it's actually going very well. The Brimstone boots already bought and sold, which is crazy because the first 3 that we flipped took like 10 minutes, and the second 3 that we flipped actually took like 5 minutes, so that was really nice. We'll add that to the stack, up to 830k on this flipping session so far. Going to probably log off for a little bit, come back and check our flips, but we'll let everything sit for now and see how it does. Okay boys, so yesterday's flipping session wrapped up really nicely. You can see that we were able to close out the monkfish trades, the manta ray trades. We also were able to sell these ancient staffs, which I'll show in a minute. But the coolest thing and the coolest item that we were able to flip was these granite rings. We bought them for 1,250, and look what we sold them for, boys. 25k in total for the rings. Boom, we got them off for about 16k each, and that is 913k. What an ROI on those granite rings. Like, it's actually insane that we were able to flip this item for so much money. I mean, I've never had a flip that was that easy to do, that was so lucrative on an item that I really had no idea about. So those granite rings were absolutely insane throughout the night, and we'll go ahead and collect our profits here and start another flipping session. Wow, this is truly insane. I'm not sure if these granite rings were a fluke last night, or maybe there was just a weird price fluctuation, but what I'm going to do is leave them in all day and see if we can pick up any cheap ones again and try to sell them back for a profit. On top of that, we will be doing some active flips here while we wait for those granite rings to come through, and we'll just see how much money we can make. Here is what we are starting with today, but we've already flipped the toxic blowpipe actually a few times, and so far we've made about 130k on it, so that's been incredible. We're going to try to get another 2 bought and sold. The reason I went and tried to flip the toxic blowpipe again today is because I saw that the price has actually increased from last night by about 75k, so I think there's a lot of upward force on the toxic blowpipe right now, which will make for some quick and easy flips to make us some safe bank. And sure enough, the last of the toxic blowpipes sold. Very happy with that. A total of 218k already on the toxic blowpipes. Here is the current update on the flipping session. The soul runes have stopped really buying, which is unfortunate because the margin was about 11 GP, which is pretty crazy. But anyway, we're going to cut away from those here in a minute. The blood runes sold for a 3 GP margin, and the U-logs sold for what I believe to be a 3 GP margin as well. 48k on the U-logs in profit and 30k on the blood runes. So we're going to go ahead and collect that. The amulets of fury, like yesterday, are just not buying, so I'm just going to avoid that item for the rest of the episode. The oak planks have pretty much dried up as well, so we'll turn around and sell them for 510, I believe. That was the original margin, so we'll put those in. The climbing boots were kind of just a meme item. We'll turn around and sell them for 295, which is a little bit under their current margin. Anyway, things are looking pretty good so far, about 348k in profit so far during this flipping session, so let's try to extend it a little bit farther. Quick update on the flips. This is what we have going for us right now. The dragon arrows have kind of stopped buying, but the dwarf weed is coming in pretty quickly. The infinity boots, we finally got a pair of those. We're kind of just sitting back waiting for everything to flip, and the teleport to houses are looking really good right now, currently showing a like 20 GP margin, so I'm hoping we'll be able to hit that. I'm not sure if we will, but the Carol's leather skirts are balancing us out because while they're only like a 3k profit per, they're a pretty safe flip. So we'll keep an eye on everything here, and of course I'll keep you guys updated with our profits. We let some of the flips sit for about 30 minutes or so, and I forgot that I actually hit the limit on the teleport to houses, so we're going to turn around and try to sell them for 565 each. That way we can actually get them off for a decent price. The dragon swords stopped buying as well, so we'll turn around and sell those back on the market for a little bit under the last margin that we checked as well. And the Carol's leather skirts, dragon arrows, and dwarf weed sold, so I am very happy with that. We're going to sit and let these other items sell first before we do a little bit of an analysis and see if there's anything else that we want to flip. And the teleport to houses sold for 560 each, and the dragon swords finished off as well, so that is awesome. We're going to collect those, and we're actually going to cut back on the granite rings as well. I do believe we have the rest of the stack here in the bank, which we do. And look at that coin stack, guys, looking very nice. 19,925. Let's try to get that to 20 million before the end of the episode. Here are the flips we set to get to the 20 mil stack. Boys, we did it. I guarantee when I go to collect this grand exchange money, we will be at 20 million. And we can check a look at the flips as well. Everything went for a really solid margin. The adamant darts were incredible, 4 GP margin on those, which is really nice. The battle staffs had a 10 GP margin, the sharks I believe a 3, the grapes a 3 even though we only got 262 of them, and the law runes for a 2 GP margin. But it was enough to take us to that 20 mil stack, and I am pumped about that. Anyway, we're going to wrap up the episode here. Hitting that 20 mil cash stack feels really good, guys. Anyway, if you did enjoy this episode, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and join us in our Discord group with the link in the description below. It is a great place to learn about flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time.